everyone, and welcome to another episode of Real Man, a movie podcast, where you didn't really ask for it, but hey, I'm going to give it to you anyways. This is a podcast where I talk about anything, everything, well, anything about movies. I'm your host, Chase Lee, and this week, I didn't really want to do it over Minions because, come on, it's a kid's film. There's really nothing more to talk about. I mean, I enjoyed it for what it was, but I'm not going to do a whole podcast over it. As far as The Gallows, I did not see, even though I really love low-budget horror from my man, Jason Blum, so you know what? I was a little torn on what to do this week, so I decided to do my top 10 films of 2015 so far. We're midway through the year, so let's just dish out a list. I mean, I'm pretty comfortable with my list. But before we begin on that, I have some trailers I want to talk about, and then of course I'll end with the box office results for the weekend. I apologize if this going up late, guys. Had some technical issues last night, so you know I'm here doing it now early in the morning. So let's do this. So as far as the trailers go, you know, Comic-Con was rolling up this week, and they pretty much stamped this week in news. Everything that came out news related was from Comic-Con. So the first trailer I want to talk about is the Batman v Superman trailer, and this was the official Comic-Con trailer that came, it saw, and it conquered, motherfuckers. Like the first trailer when it came out, I remember when I reviewed it, it was a teaser. It didn't really have much to the story. It was kind of just setting up tones and kind of showing you the conflict we have between Superman and Batman. This new trailer, holy shit, it's fucking great. It shows a little bit more of the story. It shows where Bruce Wayne was during the attack of Metropolis, and it also shows like them both kind of being good, both kind of being bad. So it's kind of a conflicting thing when they do go head to head. It's like, well, who do you root for? Because they're kind of both in the wrong and they're kind of both in the right. So it's shot well. I love the way the action is placed in this film because it just makes your jaw drop. And it's one of the only films in history where I can go in there and comfortably say, hey, listen, I've actually seen the book that it's based off of, The Dark Knight Returns. It's the only thing I've ever read before a movie. So it'll be really interesting to see how that is kind of translated and kind of picked apart, because that was a really great graphic novel from Frank Miller. I can't wait to see it be adapted. So I'm totally on board for the Batman v Superman trailer. It's fucking tight. I saw all the leaked ones. I know. It's Comic-Con, guys. Come on. I know you're not supposed to watch that stuff. It kind of makes you feel pretty fucking gross, but you know, it's just, it's Deadpool and it's also Suicide Squad. And so from what I saw all the trailers. I like the Deadpool one. I like the tone of it. I like the dark humor in it. I like that Ryan Reynolds is playing it. I've always been on board with him playing it. He's got the fast, just wit that we need from Deadpool, and you know, the Merc with the mouth. Because here's the deal, guys. I'm not going to advocate that I'm a huge comic book fan. I'm not. I know characters. I know certain villains. I know certain people in comic book franchises and stuff. But I'm more importantly and foremost, a comic book movie fanboy. Like, that's me. Comic book movie, not comics. So I don't know everything to do with Deadpool, which is great because I kind of want to go in there blind. But he is a sarcastic guy that curses a lot. He breaks the fourth wall. He has fun with himself. So it's the type of movie where I'm going to really enjoy. It's going to be really entertaining. I cannot wait. It's a pretty funny trailer. I love the banter between him and TJ Miller. It's really authentic and kind of just off-the-cuff improv that it works when you have the right people doing it, and TJ Miller is fantastic. So the Deadpool trailer was pretty fucking awesome. It was violent. It had the right amount of humor, self-referential humor. Like, he even makes fun of Green Lantern at some point. So I thought it was so funny. So Deadpool trailer, fantastic. And the third trailer is the Suicide Squad trailer that dropped during Comic-Con. It was pretty cool. I can't wait to see a high-def version, obviously. It's just one of those things where I'm watching, I'm just like, God, I wish I was watching the HD version. And so as I was watching it, it was really cool. Just the way it was shot and just the way all the characters were introduced. It was a really long trailer. And then, of course, Jared Leto as the Joker pops up at the end. And He's pretty creepy, and the thing is, you can't judge everything from a trailer. What I got so far was like a little glimpse of the story, a little glimpse of everyone's acting, and just the way it looks. And from what I can see so far, it looks like Warner Brothers is going to hit another home run out after Batman v Superman. So Suicide Squad, cannot wait to see you. So that's all the trailers I want to talk about and news. I mean, I guess the only piece of news is that Marissa Tomei is going to play Aunt May and Spider-Man, and I never thought in a million years that I would pop a boner while reading that. Dear God, Marissa Tomei she's fucking hot. And the fact that she's playing Aunt May is weird because now it's like, now we can officially say as a union, as one, Aunt May is hot, guys. Like, you want to bang Aunt May. You never thought you'd say that in a million years, but it's true. I want to bang Aunt May now. So, sorry, Uncle Ben. She's mine. Yeah, Marissa Tomei as Aunt May, it sounds good to me. I mean, she's a great actress. She's won Academy Awards before for supporting actress roles and stuff, and everything I've seen her in, she's been great. Like, one of my favorite roles she ever did was with Philip Seymour Hoffman, and that would be Before the Devil Knows You're Dead. I think that's it. It's a really long title, kind of like that, but it's one of a few titles that I really appreciate from Philip Seymour Hoffman. He's one of my boys, and it's kind of sad that he passed on early, but what are you going to do? But Marissa Tomei as Aunt May for the new Spider-Man flick. That's pretty much it. So that's it, guys, for the news and trailers. That's all I really wanted to talk about in terms of Comic-Con related stuff. I mean, the only trailers that dropped outside of Comic-Con were Alvin and the Chipmunks 4 Road Chip. You think I'm making that up, but 20th Century Fox really just likes to ram that cactus up your butthole and just make it bleed, man. Just make you bleed and suffer, because that is the most god-awful. That's worse than the Squeakquel. That's worse than Chipwrecked, the Road Chip. You know, 20th Century Fox, if I wanted to take my testicles and put them in a waffle iron and just press down so hard, but so gently, I would have done it myself. This trailer looks awful. I realize they make money, but dear God, let's calm that down a little bit. I have to give it to them, though. At least they don't pump out like sequels like year after each other or like 2 years after each other. At least there's a huge gap, so it makes you kind of forget about the whole franchise. But then they slowly start coming back, and then they slowly make you start remembering why you hate these god-awful things in the first place. So that was the only thing that dropped outside of Comic-Con. Yeah, you really wanted me to talk about that, didn't you? So no Alvin and the Chipmunks 4 Road Chip. I will not talk about you. So that will be it for the news and trailers portion for this week, guys. So the top 10. Now, this was really fucking difficult. Not going to lie. I have a lot of honorable mentions. Honorable mentions are going to go with Turbo Kid. It's a really cool, kind of unique film that comes from Canada and New Zealand, I think. It was like a joint production. But anyways, it's like a 1980s hyper-violent, really colorful movie. It's post-apocalyptic, so it's like it's got the backdrop of the post-apocalyptic universe, plus with their just what they're wearing, because they're wearing like super like 80s getup where it looks like they were rejected extras from like a Whitesnake video. I don't know. It's just so much fun. I had a lot of fun. I saw it at Dallas International Film Festival this year. It was one of my favorites there. So that's an honorable mention. While We're Young is an honorable mention. Listen, I had While We're Young in my list. This is the one with Ben Stiller and Naomi Watts, and it's directed by Noah Baumbach. And I mean, I had it in my list, but shit, man. Like, it was super hard to keep it in there because I was like pushing stuff out, and I was like, well, I really enjoyed this one over that one, but I still liked While We're Young. It's a very good film on just a couple that wants to spice up the relationship. So they go after a younger couple, which is played by Amanda Seyfried and Adam Driver. So it's a good one. I'm not a huge fan of Noah Baumbach, Bach, whatever, if you want to correct me. That's fine. I have no idea how to pronounce it. His movies are fine, and some of the stuff he's written I've kind of enjoyed, but I've just never been like a huge fan of him. I am looking forward to his newest one, Mistress America. But as far as While We're Young, it had to be pushed out. Another one is Ex Machina. I really enjoyed this one a lot. I really did. But it also was kind of underwhelming. I thought this was going to be like the next big thing because everyone was fucking hyping this movie up. This is the one with Oscar Isaac, Domhnall Gleeson, and the chick's name that I cannot pronounce, but she is pretty hot. It's got great visuals. It's got a great story about AI and robots against man. And it's shot well. Like, I know I mentioned that, but dear God, it's got some great, gorgeous cinematography. It's really rich. And, Oscar Isaac, he is great. He's so great in this. It just kind of felt underwhelmed, and the ending happened in the movie, and I was like, okay, that's it. And there was a couple things in there where I was like, oh, no. I didn't buy it. So I was like, okay, Ex Machina, you can calm down over there. But I really enjoyed it for what it was. It's definitely one of the better AI movies in quite some time. Another one I want to put on my list for honorable mentions is Slow West. And this is the Michael Fassbender, Cody Smith-McPhee, Ben Mendelsohn. Yeah, that's it. That's their movie. I really enjoyed Slow West a lot. The cinematography is gorgeous. It's like watching each frame, each scene is like, it's like a fucking painting. It is beautiful. It's a really good looking Western film. And I do like the story. It's a very simple story of Cody Smith-McPhee is going after his love. He had this like teenage love and he wants to go after her, and she's with other people now. She pretty much just left him, and he goes after her, and Michael Fassbender joins him, and it's kind of just this journey to go get back the one that he loves. And I'm going to tell you the way it ends because, it's pretty sad, but at the same time, I kind of felt like the movie was shorthanded a little bit. It kind of felt like I was watching a second act and a third act of a film. I felt like there was something missing. But then again, I really enjoyed it, but I wish there was more. Maybe that's my gripe, is I wish there was more to Slow West, because the movie is only like an hour and 15 minutes, which is extremely short. But, all the acting is great. The story's there. The cinematography's there. The music's really cool. I can't put it in my top 10. There's no way. It felt like it was just shorthanded. I really just wanted to see more, so that's why I had to put it down there. Mad Max is in my honorable mentions. Yeah, that's right. It's in my honorable mentions. Now listen, I enjoyed it for what it was. It was a very smart action movie. Yeah, it really is smart. Like, there's a lot of deep undertones into this thing, and I enjoyed the hell out of it. But as far as putting in my top 10, I couldn't do it, because my top 10 is a mixture of, it's a good mixture of blockbusters and independent film and stuff. So I'm pretty comfortable leaving it out, because if I didn't put a certain one in there, I would have swapped out for Mad Max. But I gotta stand by with my guns of what I enjoyed the most at the theaters. And another one I want to put is Insidious 3. I don't care what you fucking say. Now listen, Insidious, the whole franchise, I fucking love it. It's got the lighting, it's got the editing, and it's got the coloring, or the cinematography. Like, those three things make this franchise is so fucking creepy in every single one of them. It puts you in that universe and puts you in this atmosphere. I remember watching the first one in theaters for the very first time in 2010, and it blew me away on how well it was shot and how well it was lit for a horror film. When you are around a campfire and people are telling campfire ghost stories and stuff, you kind of picture it as they go along. Insidious is that type of movie that you picture in terms of the way it's shot and the way it's lit. It's just got super creepy, dark, harsh shadows and then you'll have like a light like going down into a hallway, and then that's it. But like the way it's set up, it heightens that suspense and that terror in you to where you are freaked the fuck out. So Insidious 3, yeah, I'll put that on my honorable mentions. I'm actually okay with that. And then is that it? Yeah, that's it for my honorable mentions. So those did not make it in there. So let's get in with the actual list, shall we? Number 10, I put Avengers Age of Ultron. I know, shocking, right? Listen, say what you will about the movie. I thought it was actually pretty good. And I would contend to put it in my top 3. I really would. I think it's a better sequel than the first Avengers. Listen, the first Avengers is fun. I enjoyed it. It's a very good comic book film. It's very entertaining. But this one, I actually liked the story more. And I kind of liked Ultron more. A lot of people were not agreeing with the fact that he was developed so quickly, and he just came on the scene really fast, and he just started becoming evil. I think it totally works. Because when he's born in the movie, he's basically asking Jarvis all these questions. He's getting stuff from the internet, and he's able to download that stuff really fast and really have a clear idea of what he wants to go for. Because he asked about Tony Stark. He asked about his whole purpose, which is to bring peace on this earth. But when he sees the actual destruction on Earth and the fact that we're shitty as human beings, he's like, oh, fuck no. I'm going to kill you all because you guys are all assholes. So I was like, I'm okay with that. After watching it a second time, I totally enjoyed it. I loved all the Easter eggs. I love the continuation of the story. It's leading up to Infinity War. Jesus Christ is going to be fucking awesome. Like, Infinity War is going to be the most balls out comic book movie in the history of comic book movies. You can mark my words on that. So it's a great stepping stone. I'm looking forward to Civil War. I'm looking forward to Ant-Man. Avengers 2 is just a fun blockbuster film, and I'm one of the only people that will say I think it's better than the first one, and it might be my top 3. I don't know. I'll have to rearrange it for Marvel films, but Avengers Age of Ultron, great fun time in the theaters that, I just think it's getting a lot more flack than it deserves, So the number 9 spot is Kingsman: The Secret Service. I love Matthew Vaughn, the director. I really do. I loved Kick-Ass. I love X-Men First Class. I saw Layer Cake a long time ago. He's one of the more stylistic directors in Hollywood right now. He loves to make a movie his own and put his stamp on it. You watch any of these films that he's directed, you can tell that he directed from just the way the camera floats around with the character as they're in an action scene and really follows these people. And it's like this dream sequence. But his movies are all like straight up fantasy. Like, this is something you would have in a nightmare or a dream. That's what it's over the top violence. It's stylistic. It's really colorful. It pops out at you. It's just really fast paced editing. Get you going, get your heart pumping. He's just a really good director that creates quality entertainment. There's really nothing more you can say about it. And that was probably the most fun I've had in the theater so far. Like, if it's not, it's definitely my second spot. Like, it's just fun. And it's a really good spy film. That's what's weird. It's a good spy film, but it's also commentary on spy films. I see what you're doing there, Matthew Vaughn. You're going like super Inception style, and you're just fucking getting in there and doing your shit. I appreciate it. No, Kingsman: Secret Service came out in February, and I still think about that church scene. Who doesn't? Who knew that Colin Firth could kick so much ass at his age? That's all. He needs to do more stuff like that. So Kingsman and the Secret Service, number 9. Number 8, I had a hard time putting this one in there because it's a great movie. But dear guys, it's super depressing. That's The Hunting Ground. You're probably thinking to yourself, well, what the hell is this? This is a documentary from the director Kirby Dick, who also did This Film Is Not Yet Rated, which is one of my favorite ones. It's over there somewhere in my collection. What else did he do? He did The Invisible War, which came out a couple years ago, and that was about the rape in military and how it just goes, unheard of or untouched. And then This Film Is Not Yet Rated is about the MPA rating system here in America and how fucked up and screwed up it is. So The Hunting Ground is college rape and this rape culture that we're in. I don't think we're in a rape culture. I just think there's shitty people out there that have done shitty things, and someone made a documentary about it, and they kind of show that there's some assholes out there. Because not every guy, all you Tumblr women, not every guy is just, we're so hell-bent on raping people. No. Anyone that sexually abuses or rapes someone is a fucking dickbag, okay? Not every person's like that. You just happen to meet one of the shittier groups of people. But this one's about the college, rapes and stuff that have been kind of coming to fruition. And it's just heartbreaking, man. It hits you like in the stomach, and it's fucking nasty, man. Like, it just makes you feel shitty. Like, it makes you feel like a shitty human being. It's like, we do this. Like, some people in our species rape and sexually abuse people. It just makes your stomach turn. It really does. And I remember when I walked out, I was so angry. I just wanted, like, all the people that fucking raped or sexually abused, I just want to punch in the goddamn face. It just makes you fucking sick, man. And the documentary is really well put together. And that's what one thing I like about Kirby Dick. He's one of the only documentary filmmakers who makes his films like super entertaining. You know, if the subject matter is very dark or very grim and you don't really want to watch it, he makes it entertaining to a point where, like, you're getting all these facts in. It's cut together really well. It's just, it keeps your interest, you know, engaged. It's not like something that, you know, he'll blow his wad within the first 10 minutes and makes it super interesting and the rest of it's really boring. No, this one's really engaging because if you didn't know this was a problem in America, it's like now you can watch this movie and realize that this is a problem, and we need to kind of do something about it. When, you know, people do commit these crimes, they're not really prosecuted to the full extent of the law. So The Hunting Ground, it's a really interesting, gut-wrenching documentary on college rapes and campuses and how some of them will just go unnoticed, and the people that were raped, they will go to the dean or whatever, and the dean's like, you know, they just don't really do anything about it. And, you know, these colleges don't want to take headline news because they get funding from people, and these people don't want to go, oh, this school's got rape and sexual abuse now, I don't want to give them my money. Well, it's like, do something about it. You know, if someone is raped or sexually abused, fucking kick the abuser off campus, shit, and expel them, fine them, do whatever you have to do, because those people are shitty. So, as you can tell, I'm really passionate about it. It's I fucking hate abusers. I do, with a burning passion. They all need to go just die in a hole somewhere. I'm being serious. I hate people that abuse other people. It's disgusting. But The Hunting Ground is a very good documentary. Highly suggest you check it out, especially if you like Kirby Dick's other films. This film is not yet rated, The Invisible War. Check it out if you're interested in that subject matter. It is, you know, it's a little strong. Number 7 is probably a film that none of you have ever heard of, but I did a review of it on my channel. And this is the very, very low budget. That is an understatement. Because this movie looks like it was shot on a handy cam in the middle of New York City with no one really noticing. This one's called Heaven Knows What. And listen, I saw Requiem for a Dream when I was in high school. And when I saw it, I was moved. It was a very, very powerful movie on drug addiction and just addiction in general. And it just, man, like it hits you like all in the feels. Like, I've never done like hard drugs in my life, but I can only imagine like getting hooked like that and getting really addicted, and you're just wanting more and more. With the combination of the acting done by, surprisingly, Marlon Wayans and Jared Leto, Sarah Connolly, and who's Ellen Bernstein. She is fantastic in this film. With the powerful acting and the powerful direction from Aaron Aronofsky, he really, it's like this slow burn. It's like the addiction that they're experiencing on screen. We're going with them on this horrific nightmare of a journey, and he really draws it out. And the ending climax to all 4 of these characters is just, it's really heartbreaking, because Ellen Bernstein is like this really like go-getter, like very happy mom, and she turns into this really just cold and distant. Like, I'm picturing like the way she starts and the way she ends, like the transformation in her face alone is beautiful. Because like when you hear about addiction and stuff, like, yeah, people can act like they're twitching or whatever when they don't have what they want and they're going through withdrawal or whatever. You can't really see the transformation in their face. No. Ellen Bernstein really transforms into this empty shell of a person that's just addicted to game shows and pills, and it's just really sad to watch. And it's one of those movies that you can really only watch once and kind of be okay with not ever watching again. But that was my first exposure to Darren Aronofsky. Thank you, sir, because I really love that movie. So Heaven Knows What. is basically a drug addiction movie. We follow this character, and she's going out with this guy. He's kind of really abusive, and he just really treats her like shit, and they're both addicted to heroin. And so she leaves him, and then she meets a couple other people who are both struggling with this addiction. The whole movie is basically about them just going through life getting high. And it's just one of those movies where you're kind of just watching this on screen. You're just like, I really want to help them. I really want to just reach out to them and help these people. Because it looks like they are on the edge of just getting that help to where they can slowly start transforming their life around. But no one wants to help them. Because when everyone looks at drug addicted people, they just scoff at them and kind of go away. Yeah, that might be your prerogative or whatever, but at the same time, these people need help. And I just don't understand, like, just no one helped them in this movie. And towards the end, like, she starts to realize, like, she can slowly change her life around. She isn't completely cured yet. I'm going to be honest. Like, at the end of the movie, she's kind of slowly realizing that she can get rid of this addiction, but it's going to take some time. But the way it's shot like super handy cam, so it looks like it's guerrilla footage where it looks like some cameraman went and found like two actual people that were addicted, and they started just following them around. That's how authentic it felt. It felt really grounded. It felt realistic. It was harrowing, man. Like these people were just sitting on, under the bridge or whatever, and you're a park, and they're just fucking going for it. And it's like, these people exist. Like, there's groups of people that will, hustle on the streets so they can get money for that next high. And you want to help them. But I love the way it was shot. Because like I said, it looked like someone was following people around and really just, they kind of stood off to the side, and these people didn't know they were filming them. That's how authentic it felt. It felt like I was watching real people. It didn't even feel like a movie. It felt like a documentary. But the only well-known name in it, I forgot what his name was, but it's the redhead from X-Men First Class. I think he had I forgot what powers he had, but he's from X-Men First Class, and he's kind of like the ginger-looking dude. He was great, and everyone else was really good too, but he's the only well-known person. Everyone else is like, this is either like their first film or whatever, and these directors are very obscure. But if you can handle like drug addiction movies and stuff, and you can handle drug use and all that jazz, I would highly suggest you to check out Heaven Knows What. It's a fantastic nightmare of a film, and it takes you on this roller coaster throughout these people's addictions and how you feel sorry for them. You really do, and you just kind of want to help them, and it's kind of sad that they can't get help. So Heaven Knows What, it's a really powerful addiction film, and it actually might be my favorite one I've ever seen in my life. Because Requiem for a Dream held that title. I love The Basketball Diaries, but Heaven Knows What, man, that's like on a whole nother level of filmmaking. It really is, because it felt so real. I felt like I was watching people. So number 7 is Heaven Knows What. So if you love those type of movies, please check that one out. It is definitely worth your time. So number 6 is It Follows, and this is the horror film, very low budget horror film starring Micah Monroe. Yeah, I think that's it. She's from The Guest, which also came out last year. She's a very attractive blonde, but she's a very good actress. I remember in The Guest, like, because she becomes the main character in The Guest. She's one of the standouts. She's one of those actresses where you watch her, like, I've seen her before. No, I haven't. Okay, I want to watch more of her stuff, because I saw her and I thought I recognized her. But when I went home to look up the IMDb credits and stuff, nothing. Like, I hadn't seen anything that she was in. So she's going to be in more stuff for sure. She's one of those stars in the making. But It Follows is a very low-budget horror film. It relies on cinematography techniques and not jump scares. I mean, there's a couple of loud music jump scares in it. But for the most part, it relies heavily on just the way the camera's placed and the way it's edited together. That's how creepy it can be. Like, for instance, a character comes up the stairs. There's a dark hallway behind her. She comes towards the camera, and there's a room right here. She's walking, and as the camera is dolling back, we have someone come out from the shadows in the hallway, and like, he's just going really slowly and stuff. And you're sitting there freaked out, like hairs on my back of my arms, neck stood up. I'm sitting there like, this is good. This is really fucking good. You seen this? Like, I love horror films like that. They take their time. They're really slow, and just stuff like that where it's placed with great lighting and cinematography to where it creeps the shit out of you. I love it. It's a movie about an STD, I think. Yeah. Basically, when this girl has sex, something follows her. It's like a paranormal entity. So that's all I really want to say about it. But the score. Oh, I forgot about the score. The score is reminiscent of like an 80s film. It's got a lot of synths and a lot of beats to it. It's great. And I think it totally works for the look of this film because it looks like an old school horror film you would see from the 70s or the 80s. But it's something special, man. I really enjoyed it a lot. It's a horror film that actually deserves to be called a horror film. No, listen, I love films like Insidious and Paranormal Activity and stuff. They're great horror entertainment, and some of them can legitimately creep me out. But It Follows is just a more well-rounded horror film. Very low budget. Not a lot of people have heard of it, so that's my number 6 pick is It Follows. So I'm okay with that because I had it in there for the longest time at like number 2, number 3, but of course a lot of stuff, dropped it down. So number 5. It's a movie that I cannot really talk about because if I do, they might come after me and they might sue me. No, they won't sue me, but I'm sure if someone finds out about this, I might get a strike on my channel. But it's 99 Homes, and this is the one with Michael Shannon and Andrew Garfield. I actually saw a test screening back in February for this, so this was a while ago. But I walked out of this going, this is going to be an Oscar contender for some category. It's not going to go all the way and win it, but it's going to win in something. I'll probably be nominated for Best Supporting Actor for Michael Shannon because he fucking kills it. He is so fucking good in this film. He's so creepy. He is direct and he is abrasive, but he's also got that comforting side where, like, he'll just be like, hey, "Fuck you! You want to come over? We'll have a beer. We'll have a beer. You like beers?" It's like I kind of want to have a drink with you, even though you just yelled at me. So yeah, 99 Homes stars Andrew Garfield, Michael Shannon, Laura Dern, and that's all I remember. It's been, 5 months now? Shit. It's a movie about the real estate market. Andrew Garfield's got family. Michael Shannon has a place where he evicts people that don't pay, and he kicks Andrew Garfield out. They're having to go stay in random homes at random places. Michael Shannon basically hires Andrew Garfield on as someone to work with him to where he goes to houses now and tells people to get out. It's a really interesting and intense movie about real estate. Who would have fucking thought a movie about real estate would be intense? I didn't fucking think that. It's like a really good suspenseful thriller. It really is. And the acting is top notch. Listen, I love Andrew Garfield to death, and I think he did a fantastic job in Social Network. He's supposed to play a father with a kid. He grows out a beard for this movie, but I can't do it. I know he's in his 30s, but I don't know. He's got the baby face, man. He's got the fucking baby face, and I can't see him as a father. Other than that was my only complaint. When I watched it initially, the ending was kind of whatever. But the more I thought about it, the more I kind of enjoyed it. So I really like 99 Homes a lot. And I think it comes out in September or October for you guys. So put that one on your list because I think you'll really enjoy it. If you are a Michael Shannon fan, this does not disappoint. I've been a fan of his from the get-go. Get Shelter? Oh, fuck. Oh, I forgot. Like, because this is the one with Jessica Chastain, right? I believe so. That was a long time ago. I think it was like 2009. It's a movie directed by Jeff Nichols, and he directed Mud. Oh, fuck me, man. Anyways, that was like the most recent thing he did besides Man of Steel, which I thought he was pretty great. But Take Shelter. Take Shelter was it was like another intense film about the apocalypse. And it was more family drama and family oriented, and that's what I really enjoyed about it the most. 99 Homes is the same way. We focus more on the family drama and the relationship between Michael Shannon and Andrew Garfield. And at the test screening, I told the guy that was asking questions, he He was like, "What'd you guys like the most about it? Like, who gave the best performance?" And I was like, "Michael Shannon," and people were just like, "Who?" And I was like, "Have you guys not seen any of his fucking movies? The guy is like phenomenal in everything he does. Like, shit, check out The Iceman. I think that came out in 2013. It's over there somewhere. But The Iceman is a fantastic film on Richard Kuklinski, the guy that basically murders people and didn't feel any remorse. I thought he killed it in that role. Like, after doing some research on Kuklinski before the movie, it just made me appreciate Michael Shannon's performance even more. He's that type of actor, folks. He's method as fuck. So 99 Homes, can't really go more into depth to it, but I can just give you my general thoughts. It's a fantastic film, guys. Please check it out. Andrew Garfield, Michael Shannon. So what? I almost spoiled that. Number 4 is What We Do in the Shadows. This is a mockumentary about vampires, and it's produced from Funny or Die. It's got Richard Clement. Oh, fuck, I forgot his name. He's one half of the guys from Flight of the Conchords. He was also the villain in Men in Black 3. Anyways, Jermaine Clement. I don't know why I said the other name. Jermaine Clement. He's a really funny dude. I've been following this guy for quite some time. I've seen a few episodes of Flight of the Conchords. Excuse the Men in Black movie. But as far as like his comedy goes from overseas, he's funny as hell. Like, he really is. And this movie is fucking hilarious. It takes just the tropes of, like, this movie is not that hard to review. It takes the tropes of vampires and just vampire lore and personalities of vampires, and they really just kind of put it in this melding pot of a mockumentary, as if like there's a camera crew there just documenting their crazy adventures inside their old house. That's all it is, and it's fantastic. It's like a long episode of like a pilot to a reality show, and it's awesome. That's all I gotta say. It's just really, really fucking funny. It's one of those movies that doesn't have to rely on like dick humor or fart humor. I mean, there's some raunchy stuff in there, but it's more subtle stuff that has to deal with vampires and just supernatural stuff in general. It's just hilarious. That's all I gotta say about it. It's a really good, hilarious movie. And I think if you're looking for that comedy, that you want something different, kind of something fresh, unique, check out What We Do in the Shadows. I think you'll really enjoy it. So number 3, Dope. Holy shit. This is the most original, upbeat, entertaining movie I've seen all year. It is so much fun. So much fun. And I got the poster from it. Oh, yeah. Look at that, folks. Got that at the screening. Like, I actually do need it for the names. Shameik Moore is this guy right here. He plays Malcolm. Tony Revolori. He's the guy right there. He's from Grand Budapest Hotel. Kiersey Clemens. I think that's her. If it's not, then obviously I know my stuff. Tyga is also in this. A$AP Rocky. Zoe Kravitz, who's great in this. And then Blake Anderson. He's like one of the only white people in it. But basically, essentially, these kids, when you watch the trailer, you think this movie is about the 90s. I mean, yeah, they wear stuff from the 90s and they have 90s nostalgia and memorabilia and stuff, but this movie's set in modern times. It's just that these 3 people on the cover, they're geeks, they're nerdy, they love 90s stuff, and so they dress like that, and they really stand out when they go to this shitty school or whatever. They get picked on a lot. Of course, they're nerds. I didn't dress like that, but I got picked on a lot. But shit, I don't know if I want to wear all that stuff. But basically, they just get caught up in this drug thing, this drug event, and that's all I'm gonna say. It's one of those movies where you want to watch it and see the adventure unfold in front of your eyes. It's one of those things where something happens and it sparks a whole bunch of other things. It's such a fun ride. It's really quick with its editing, and it's super entertaining. It's one of the most entertaining films I've seen all year. The acting is fantastic. Shameik Moore, holy shit! This guy brings the heart, he brings the humor, and he brings the relatability. Because listen, most of us are probably nerdy or geeky. He totally pulls it off without going overboard with a stereotype. So he's great. All of them are great. The acting's fantastic, but the way it's shot, it really does have that 90s feel, especially with the kids and what they're wearing. It's really colorful, and it really pops out with the the background of this neighborhood because it's a really shitty part of town. So when they walk into it, it's something unique and something fresh that we haven't really seen before. And it's also got a really good message on we shouldn't judge people. Don't judge a book by its cover. And we should really kind of, talk to people before we make assumptions. And how it's not what it seems. It really isn't. Because when you see people like this, yes, they're black and people might have their prejudice towards them. But at the same time, they're geeky and nerdy. So it's like, oh, they're not going to really do much. They're harmless. But in reality, they break a lot of laws in this movie. And, they're trying to get into college and stuff. So it's a really interesting take on don't judge someone by where they come from and stuff. So I thought that was a really good message for this movie. It's funny. It's actually really funny. Like, I didn't expect it to be that fucking funny. The trailer, the red band trailer sold me. And this was when you step into the movie, it's like I didn't realize it was gonna be like ha ha ha, like good R-rated comedy. Like I never would have thought that. So like I said, it's a super fun time. It's super colorful. I love the production design and the art direction for this thing. It's just a really fun story that you just kind of get immersed into. You get immersed into this world like right off the bat. That's how just engaging it is. Dope, man. It's fucking awesome. Like, I almost had that as my number 2 and my number 1. And I'm okay with keeping it at number 3 because my number 1 and 2, they deserve it in my opinion. But Dope is a really fun one, so please check that out if you want something kind of new and something kind of different from like a Jurassic World or Furious 7. So that's my advice to you. Number 2 is Inside Out. I really love this movie. This movie is super simple. It's the most simple story that Pixar has ever told. It is about a little girl who has grown up in her hometown, and her family picks them up and moves. That's it. It's just the struggles of a teenager going through a change in her life and how it's super sad and how she can remember the good times and how she can make new friends, but she remembers her old friends, and it's just conflicting emotions about emotions. We dive into Riley's head, who's the main character, and she has the emotions of joy, sadness, fear, disgust, and anger. And what we see in her head is exactly how she's feeling about this whole situation, this whole move. And that's the adventure that we get. That's it. Just a story about someone moving, but it's the most genius one that Pixar has ever done because they take this super simple story, and because they're more known for taking their movies and really pulling out our heartstrings and tugging at our emotions. This movie is tugging at our emotions, and it's about emotions. So it's like a double-edged sword, man. Like Pixar just stab you once, flip it around, and stab you again. It's heartbreaking, man. And I cried. I fucking cried. I'm not going to lie to you guys. It's just one of those movies where it hits you in the feels because everyone has experienced this once in their life. Not really necessarily moving and stuff, but just growing up and letting go and moving on to a different and new and scary thing. And that's what it's exactly like. The voice casting. Oh my God. Louis Black's anger has got to be one of the most inspired animation castings I've seen in quite some time. He's so good at his anger. I can just imagine him having so much fun in that recording booth. Like, congratulations, San Francisco, you won pizza. I love that man. Like, his stand-up is so funny. I wish I could see him in person one day. But him as anger is just inspired casting. Amy Poehler as joy is really great. Phyllis Smith is sadness. Mindy Kaling is disgust. And Bill Hader is fear. All of them do a fantastic job. But it's mainly like Amy Poehler's show and Phyllis Smith's show, Joy and Sadness, which is a great conflicting pair for emotions. And then, of course, Louis Black. So the animation is really crisp. It's really beautiful. Did I see it in 3D? No, I didn't see it in 3D. But it looked 3D just from the 2D print. It's really colorful. It's a movie meant for adults and teenagers. Some of the jokes won't really fly well for kids, and it's just a matter of just kids haven't really experienced this yet in life, so it's going to hit more with adults and teenagers, but it's super emotional. It just hits you in the feels, man, and it's actually really funny. It's not the funniest Pixar movie, but it's highly entertaining. I think it'll make you smile and make you sad and just make you wall up in a crying ball somewhere and just like sit in the corner and just cry your little fucking eyes out. I'm gonna go cry after this. But that's it for my number 2 is Inside Out. Number 1, my favorite film of the year so far. When I saw it at the Dallas International Film Festival, I was a little blown away. Now listen, I love young adult novel adaptations. A lot of them do not work for me. There's been a few of them that have worked. I love the Harry Potter series. I love the Hunger Games franchise. I like Perks of Being a Wallflower. I liked Fault in Our Stars. This one might be my favorite one, and like Spectacular Now and stuff. This one might be my favorite one so far. I'll have to think about it. But it's Me, Earl, and the Dying Girl. Where do I begin? This is a story about a guy and his friend who make little movies on the side. They're in high school. They're kind of nerdy, kind of the outcast or whatever. Then Greg's mom, the main character, played excellently by Thomas Mann, tells him to go to this girl's house and comfort her because she is dying of a form of cancer. So I was like, okay, this is already getting like really intense in terms of the sadness level. Like we're reaching over 9,000 over here. Like, so he goes over to this girl's house and they start becoming friends. You're thinking to yourself, oh, they're gonna take the route of like relationship and whatever, because you probably know how this movie's gonna end. I'm gonna tell you how it ends. You probably know. But they never take it to that relationship level. They keep it as a friendship, and I think that's stronger than a relationship, because he has that bond with someone that he doesn't really even have with his own friend Earl. Like him and Earl have like that buddy like two guy relationship. Like, hey man, what's up? Did you catch that movie yesterday? Yeah, I caught it yesterday. Did you like it? Yeah, man, I thought it was pretty cool. Yeah, me too. Like this is the extent of like guys' relationship, but like having a guy and a girl relationship never go past friendship is super strong, and the ending's very emotional. I can relate to Greg so much because in high school I made stupid little short films with my friends, and I kind of wish I had more friends in high school, because it just kind of makes you wonder, like, what if we did talk to that one person who was kind of quiet in the cafeteria? Would we spark up a really good friendship with that person and really hold that near and dear to our hearts and cherish it forever? It's just a really good friendship movie. It's super witty and super fast in terms of its writing, in terms of its editing. It's really funny. It's got a lot of heart to it. It's a really good balance. But the way it's put together and the way it's edited, it almost reminded me of a Wes Anderson film. Just the way the production design works well with the art design, and the colors pop out with the camera movements. And because Wes Anderson's like, he'll have something shooting here, and he'll pivot the camera towards the center or whatever, and he'll have that like nice fluid motion. That's exactly what Me, Earl, and the Dying Girl's cinematography is like. It's like a Wes Anderson movie. Now, a lot of people might get annoyed at that. I like it because it kind of gives it its own flavor in terms of a young adult novel adaptation, because there's a lot of them. There's so many of them. But if you stand out and make it unique, then you're going to succeed. And I think it does. With the colors and the cinematography of a Wes Anderson film, with the heart and the funniness of like a Spectacular Now, or even Fault in Our Stars for that matter, because that was kind of like along the same lines. It makes it stand out even more. And the fact that it's about short films is something I can relate to, it makes it even better. And at some point, Greg does show the girl with cancer, like his short films and stuff. And it's kind of like one of those touching moments, because she's kind of feeling down about herself, and she's really just seeing darkness around her. And it's nice to see something that will bring her out of this funk and make her smile. And that's all he was there to do, is just make her feel comfortable during her last final days. So it's a perfect film, guys. I think the only thing I've given a 10 so far. Yeah, I think it really is. Me, Earl, and Dying Girl, man. I've talked about this long enough. It's a perfect movie in my opinion. It's got everything. The acting is all there. It's top-notch performance from Thomas Mann. The last thing I saw him in was Project X. This exceeds that. And I love Project X. It's like a guilty pleasure film. But Thomas Mann does great. And then R.J. Seiler, he plays Earl. This guy's got so much fucking charisma. I could have sworn this may be like his third, fourth movie. No, very first movie. He's got like so much charisma. It reminds me of like a young Will Smith almost, but not as douchey because it looks like he's actually like pretty genuine. Sorry, Will Smith, you've fallen off the horse a little bit. So, but RJ Cyler, man, he's got so much charisma. He nails that role. Nails it. I felt like they were friends for the longest time since they were kids. And then, like I said, Thomas Mann was great. Olivia Cooke plays the dying girl. Molly Shannon's in this. She plays the dying girl's mother. She actually has like some really good character development in there. I was actually kind of surprised. We have Ron Swanson himself, Nick Offerman. He plays Greg's dad, and he's hilarious. I wish Nick Offerman was my dad. He's just the type of person in the movie that was just like, "Hey, Greg, do your homework? Great. And then witty one-liners. So I'm gonna write like a letter to him and be like, "Listen, you're probably gonna think this is creepy, and you're probably gonna want to arrest me. Who cares? I'm gonna try it anyways. Nick Offerman, please be my father." He's great. He's a great supporting cast. John Bernthal is also in it. He plays a really important part too as their teacher. So Me, Earl, and Dying Girl, my number one favorite film of the year so far. But do not care what I have to say. What do you guys have to say? I mean, what are some of your favorite ones? Were some of them in my list mentioned, or you guys some new ones? Please let me know in that comment place. Just ruffle my face and let me know, because I'm curious to see what you guys think about my choices. I want to know about your choices. What are your top 10 films of the year so far? Cannot wait for the second half. We got a lot of movies coming out in August, October that I'm really looking forward to. There's even a movie coming out in 2 weeks I'm looking forward to that could be on my list. And that's Southpaw with Jake Gyllenhaal. So there's just so many films coming out, guys. I want to try to catch all of them. It's going to be a really ridiculously tight Oscar race season again for every single category. It just seems like the content coming out this year is just, God, it's going to blow last year away. Like there's just so much, guys. And if I had to pick like my number one most anticipated for the rest of the year, I probably have to go with The Hateful Eight from Quentin Tarantino. Doesn't come out until January, but it does get released, limited release Christmas in LA and New York. So that counts. But I am looking forward to that very, very much because it's Quentin Tarantino. And I love Django. Oh, it's going to be great. It's going to be so great. So that's it, guys, for my top 10 of the year so far list. Sorry I cannot have anyone on. Just couldn't work out with the scheduling and stuff. I did record last night, but there were some technical issues. So, it is what it is. Can't win them all. So let's look up the box office results for the weekend. Sorry, guys, if I feel a little groggy or whatever, and I feel a little angry. I do kind of feel a little angry. Like I said, I was recording last night, and my podcast completely just shut off on its own, and my internet is complete balls. So I had to wake up early and do this, but I love you guys, so I do not mind doing this. So at number 5, and believe it or not, none of these have a budget on them, so I can't really tell if they're winning or not. The Gallows comes in at number 5 with 10 million. Made 1 million foreign. That's nice. That's cute. So it's got 11 million worldwide so far. Number 4 is Terminator Genisys with 13.7 million. Domestically, U.S. and Canada, it's got 68, and worldwide it's got 224. Yikes. That's like 150 million less than Salvation. I think that franchise is done. It's done. Number 3 is Inside Out with 17 million. Domestically, it's got 283, and worldwide, it's got 435. So I think it's killing it. It's got no budget, but I'm assuming it's probably 180. Double that, you got 360. So, yeah, if the budget was around 180, I think it's doing pretty well. But I don't know the budget. So Jurassic World comes in at number 2 with 18 million. No budget listed on that, but I'm assuming it's pretty expensive. Domestically, holy shit, guys, 590 million. Worldwide, it's got 1.465 billion. Holy shit. 590, guys, just to give you a little insight into how much that is. The Avengers right now holds the number 3 spot of highest grossing movies of all time at 623. Jurassic World is at 590. It could possibly pass it, it probably will, and be the 3rd highest grossing movie of all time. Titanic's at number 2 with like 658. So it's still got about 60 million more to go, 60-ish more to go to catch up with that. And then Avatar, it's not going to even reach that. It's like 720 just domestically. That's fucking crazy, man. Wow. It could be the 3rd highest grossing movie of all time. And the number 1, you guys saw it coming. It's Minions with 115 million. Wow. And worldwide, made $395 million opening weekend. Listen, I'll give you guys a little brief review. It was fine. It was cute. I don't really want to see it again. I love the Despicable Me franchise, and I love the first 2. But this one was just kind of like, it was fun. It was cute. It was funny. The kids would like it. Sure, it was fine. But it wasn't anything that just kind of blew me away. Yeah, it was funny in some parts. That's all I got to say. That's why I didn't want to do a podcast over it. So, Minions, congratulations. You were the king for the weekend. So, that will do it for this week's episode, guys. Like I said, I really apologize for posting this late. Had a lot of technical issues last night, so I had to wake up early and stuff, and I'm just not all there yet, and I got to go to work in like 10 minutes. So if I feel like I'm rushing, I really do apologize. Next week, guys, is my Ant-Man podcast. It's going to be so much fucking fun. I cannot wait to talk about it. So that will happen on next week's episode. If you guys want to follow me on Twitter, it's @RealChaseLee. Facebook, YouTube, whatever. Everything is all in links in the description below. If you're listening to this on Spreaker or iHeartRadio, you can click that follow button. You can follow me on when I do these things live. And also, if you're listening to this on Spreaker or iHeartRadio, there's a video version of this podcast, and the link will be in the description below for that. And as far as YouTube goes, if you guys are watching on YouTube and you want an audio-only version of this podcast, you can click that link in the description below as well. I love you guys. Thank you for listening every single week. I really do appreciate it. Episode 86. Down and out. So episode 87 next week, like I said, with Ant-Man. I will see you guys next week for another episode of Real Me and Colin, a movie podcast where, if you are not a movie fan and you got done listening to this entire podcast, maybe I convinced you to be one. So I will see you guys next week for another crazy fucking episode because there's always something going wrong. So I'll see you guys next week. That's all I got to say. I got to go to work. Fuck me, right? Gotta love Mondays. See you guys later. Let's play the outro music. I gotta leave in 10 minutes. Fuck my life. See you guys later.